If Game 4 between the Warriors and the Rockets was a movie, it would be called Return of the Buckets. This series was already volcanic, but then these guys just had to detonate everything to DEFCON 1.
Look at Butler and Dylan Brooks having words. And they are not talking about Christmas cards here. I'm loving it.
The following is a full forensic breakdown of every punch, counterpunch, and combustible subplot that gave us this storybook comeback of a game. The NBA playoffs are heating up, and my fellow GOATs, don't miss out on the opportunity to create lasting memories by going and seeing these awesome games live with your loved ones. And with the help of today's sponsor, SeatGeek, creating those memories is now cheaper than ever. Right now, you can get tickets for Pacers vs. Bucks for $190. That is a robbery in today's economy. Or maybe you want to hit up a baseball game. SeatGeek has you covered. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. Kendrick Lamar, Kevin Hart, heck, even Disney on Ice, if you can think it. SeatGeek has it, and SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee, and you know I came through for you guys. Use code GOAT for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code GOAT. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Time to geek out on our favorite sport with SeatGeek. After missing in Game 3, Jimmy was back for Game 4. Coach Kerr had tried Moody in the starting lineup, Kuminga in the starting lineup, and tonight he was trying Buddy Hield in the starting lineup. Udoka started the game force-feeding their best weapon.
Green watches Şengün. And a good way to start.
And on the other end, he ran some zone defense, but the Dubs busted it through ball and body movement.
Finding Draymond, corner three, and a nice beginning. He has really struggled shooting the ball. Was only 2 of 12 on threes and rings the register right out of the gate.
Next, it was a man-to-man. But since the Rockets were still disrespecting him, Splash Uncle had to wet another one on them.
Drawn and kicking at the right time. Draymond's going to launch another one. Same result. Right in front of the Rockets bench, back to back. Why waste any time?
When Jalen got the Steph mismatch, Green's priority was protecting Curry over contesting Şengün, and one-on-one in the post, it was a fight to the death.
Draymond and Şengün, total ISO, and the big man denied.
Of course, Dre just had to try and get under the Rockets' skin somehow.
Draymond
3-1 hole,
forcing his way into the Houston huddle, and the chippiness started. I can tell you from being a player, you just got to mix it up. Ain't no way he gets to do that. You lock arms and he don't get in there.
In transition, Dre told Buddy to cut so that he could hit pods in the left corner.
Podziemski free.
And a much better offensive beginning for the Warriors.
As the Dubs threw the first punch to a Houston team that looked shell-shocked to start.
Here comes Green.
Oh, another steal.
Another turnover. Hield the other way. In Game 1, Curry, Podziemski, this is a free.
Brooks' activity on the offensive glass and off the dribble finally stopped the bleeding.
Count, Brooks will work inside, go on Hield and get the deuce in the lane.
And once the Rockets had settled down a bit, opportunities that had eluded them thus far started opening up.
Thompson will fly down the lane, get it to go and a foul. Pretty play, took it the entire length and comes up with 2.
With Pods getting the offensive board and kicking it out to the top of the key, Golden State was capitalizing on second chance points.
Curry will catch, Brooks will defend, he'll slither and sneak.
How did you get that to go?
Thompson's high pick and roll for Jalen cut the deficit to just 5.
Thompson with the screen, Green is free, shot his way and good. It's a 3 for Jalen Green.
Coach Kerr had to settle his team after Houston's 11-4 counterpunch.
All you guys are doing is executing the game plan, and that's what we're going to do for 48. They're going to make some shots. They're going to make a run. Just keep executing down here and rebounding and taking care of the ball. We do that all night, all right?
And with Coach Udoka running more zone, Jimmy had to bail out the Dubs with the shot clock winding down.
Shot clock down to 5. Here's Butler. Adams in the way. Jimmy will take it. Jimmy Butler.
After getting the paint touch off the Adams screen, Amin found Jabari, who has been Houston's most consistent shooter thus far.
Thompson
Got it back, goes to Jabari. Tough shot at three, and it is in as he continues his hot shooting in the playoffs.
And seeing Golden State loading up on the Şengün mismatch, Jabari was proving to be a good release valve.
Şengün. And with a nice weaving move, Jabari Smith will put it in, and he's got a quick 5 off the bench.
Now Jabari had the Warriors on high alert, which meant that leveraging the pass was the next best option.
Fred beats the zone with a three. The Rockets.
Brooks' ball pressure led to a bad grenade pass to Dre, and with the turnover, the Rockets had cut the deficit to just 2 points going into the second. To start the second, Coach Udoka was worried about the turnovers.
Oh, we turned the ball over. It's hard to get stops, obviously. We had 5 for the quarter, 4 in the first 5 possessions. So once we took care of the ball, make them score in the half court, we're in good shape.
But not so much on the threes from Dre.
Oh, the deep balls that we gave up were guys that we want shooting, so we'll live with those.
Steven Adams fell asleep on the Curry pin down for post, and the Warriors converted on the advantage. But with Butler sinking to help on Şengün, Curry had to rotate to Jabari, leaving Brooks open for the extra pass. The Rockets' double big lineup was bruising the Warriors and doing a great job of forcing them into tough shots at the end of the clock.
Shot clock again at 3. Running it deep. Post. Into Adams. Over Adams, who may have gotten a hand on it with a shot clock violation.
Meanwhile, Steady Freddy continued carving up the Warriors' defense with ungodly self-creation.
Van Vliet. Step back. 3 over Butler.
That's huge.
Chef Curry's dribble package cooked Jabari at the point of attack, and Brooks had to foul.
Poking it away. Nice knockaway inside by Brooks. Down goes Curry.
And Dylan the Villain just had to let his intrusive thoughts win.
Dylan Brooks having words with Curry.
I think he was saying congratulations on the Teammate of the Year award.
Jalen Green was having a rough game.
Back on defense after
Another
Curry.
turnover by Green.
And with Adams falling asleep again on the slob, Post made Houston pay.
13 for Hill.
Post! Triple!
With Golden State now blitzing Jalen, Amon's reads off the short roll were paying dividends.
And Thompson will drive and kick. Brooks inside, a floater on the fly, gets it to go, he's got 11.
Amon died on the Draymond ball screen, and Dylan continued his shenanigans after the play had stopped.
Devastating screen on Thompson, and now Brooks gets in there. Smith is in there. Thompson is still on the floor, and they're crawling on top of him.
After all the drama, Coach Udoka called Fred's number with the high pick and roll.
A screen and a 3 on the fly. Van Vliet knocks it in. It's a triple.
And on the other side of the court, Dre's screen on Şengün gave Moody just enough daylight to punch back. Alpe's offbeat footwork in the post left Green completely lost.
Go.
On Draymond again, and a shot put bounces in.
And the rookie launching an ill-advised shot led to the Rockets taking back the lead on the touchdown pass from Steady Freddy.
The Rockets have 2 guys leaking out. Touchdown pass, and Jalen Green is able to catch and score.
The great ones can feel time and score in their bones, and they just know when it's time to go dumb with it. Steph Curry, born on March 14th, 1988, is one of the great ones.
Steph, reload 3. Yes, sir! Here he comes. You can tell, look how he's running back. Time to fire up.
With only 5 seconds left on the clock, Jalen Green used a sudden change of speed to generate an angle for the rescue bucket. On the flip side, Eason picked Dre's pocket, and Uncle Dre went back to his dirty tactics.
Eason.
Foul on
Draymond Green. The foot remains. The jersey being held. Oh, we've got some more grappling on the floor.
Draymond has to be careful. Remember, he already has that technical foul.
The bad blood between the two teams continued.
Look at Butler and Dylan Brooks having words. And they are not talking about Christmas cards here. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. I'm loving it.
Pods is 6'4", Jabari is 6'10". But when you were born a hooper at birth, none of that matters.
It's Podziemski on top. Smith will defend. And the 3 by Podziemski is down.
Just ask Fred.
Van Vliet off the pick, comes up firing, hits again. That's his 4th 3 of the half.
To close the half, it was all Alpe.
By Curry. Here comes Van Vliet swaggering. Şengün will finish inside.
And Houston rolled into halftime with a 7-point cushion. Fred had torched the Dubs in the first half, so Coach Kerr started the third going right at the vet.
Great game 3 to the right.
On the other side, with Dre in foul trouble, Coach Udoka targeted him in turn. In early offense, Buddy found Jimmy cross-matched on Şengün, and Butler feasted on the Brooks switch. Jalen found himself on an island against Curry, and no amount of crowding him worked to change the outcome.
To Curry's camp as a kid, and Curry shot in his face.
And with Butler collapsing Houston's defense after dusting Alpi, Buddy's cut to the rim created the passing angle for Butler to serve the dish.
He's going to work on the big center. Drop it to Buddy Hield, laying in. What a pass by Jimmy Butler. Everybody's so focused on Jimmy Butler working. I get it.
A 10-0 run for the Dubs to start the third. Off the dribble, Jalen was getting hounded. With the Rockets worried about Steph on the pod's flare, Dre found Brandon. And with the defense now in panicked rotation, Butler's patience was carving the Rockets by finding the next advantage.
They want that corner three. Hodge from the top of the key. Got it! Podziemski's got 16!
Şengün's mismatch at the right elbow had Dre zoning on the back end. However, Amon's flash ended in Dre committing a disastrous fifth foul.
Didn't it? And Thompson. And Draymond just picked up his fifth foul. His fifth foul and the free throw.
Dre had to sit, and Post was the replacement. Seeing the entire Rockets defense at the free throw line extended, Curry attacked the rim.
Curry will drive through 10.
Well, it hasn't been easy for Curry all evening.
And with both Fred and Amon worried about the chef, Splash Buddy was the beneficiary.
We're down 7. You're up 7 now. Buddy for 3. What a third quarter for the Dubs. Another Rocket timeout. Well, Steph just saw that the Rockets were kind of in a bad way.
When Alpi saw the Dubs running zone again, he flashed to the middle, and Adams' screen on post opened up the runway for him. Next, Golden State's double on the Şengün post-up was countered by swings to the corner, and the secondary drives off of that were generating good offense for Houston.
Smith in the corner, resets. Now slithers into the lane and finds a wide open Steven Adams.
Again, man, those two have been so good.
And with Fred launching in transition, the Rockets had answered again.
VanVleet with another triple. Timeout Golden State. Just under 6 to go in the third.
Steph's airball ended in Pod's hands, and the Dubs took advantage of the now disorganized Rockets defense.
Stroll maneuver, Hield is open, and lets it rip.
With Dre sitting, Coach Kerr reached deep into his bench, and Alpi's post-up on Trace Jackson Davis ended in another Fred bomb off the Pod's double.
VanVleet is open. Makes it. That's his 6th 3.
The problem was, when you didn't double him, it was automatic.
A spin, a drive, and a reverse.
Off the Jimmy drive and kick, Pods robbed the bank on the spin.
Podziemski will try to penetrate with a spin and a fadeaway. Pretty shot.
The Splash Kid was on another planet.
3. Podziemski's had the hot hand, and he hits another one.
And once he sat, Jimmy Buckets proceeded to put up buckets that made 0 sense.
It's Jimmy Butler with a fake and goes right into Adams. Got it!
Jimmy Butler saying, I'll make him call one. Leave it to me.
A 2-point lead for Golden State going into the final stretch. Right out of the gate in the fourth, Pods lifted to the wing for the DHO and picked up right where he left off.
Podziemski, 3! Brandon's got 24, and he's got 6 made threes.
In early offense, Amon punched the gap on Moody, relentlessly attacking the rim. And when I say relentless, I mean relentless.
Thompson will accelerate down the lane, contort, and get it to go over post.
With Dre out, Golden State's lack of interior size and resistance was glaring. But on the other end, Butler was punishing the Rockets' defense for daring him to shoot.
Butler does hit a 3, and Jimmy's got 16.
With the Warriors continuing single coverage, Şengün's interior dominance persisted.
Oh, what a move. What a move to tie it up at 88.
Again, the footwork, being able to spin off smaller defenders, use his size, his weight. Şengün, what a second half.
On the sideline, Dre was disgusted with the level of defense. And after seeing the Rockets turning the paint into their own personal living room,
How did he get it in? How did he not come back down on the floor?
What a move there by Thompson.
Coach had to bite the bullet and put Dre back into the game.
Draymond Green with those 5 fouls, getting ready The check back on the floor here.
As soon as Uncle Dre entered the chat, Amon had to start resorting to jump shots.
Thompson at Draymond. Off the glass again. Nice touch.
He's unbelievable. I told you in the mid-range.
So
he's unbelievable.
This is the best thing the Rockets have gotten from Ben Thompson in this series.
The Rockets had done a great job of neutralizing Curry.
Curry with the three, missed it all, sails out of bounds.
But tonight, Pods was the judge, jury, and the executioner.
Jemski, and he's fouled and banks it home. Opportunity for a three-point play. Where would the Warriors be in this one without Jemski?
Off a baseline inbound, the Rockets decided to switch everything, which ended in a disastrous Steph on Alpi mismatch.
Curry, pump fake, three. Got it! He beat the buzzer. He got Şengün off into the stands and hit a triple.
Look at this. Stay down. You go for the pump. It wasn't even a great pump fake there by Curry.
Houston's miscommunication in transition led to a wide-open Butler in the paint.
Around the horn they go. Golden State inside. Butler with a great feed on top.
On the baseline, out of bounds, Jimmy got himself a nice little mismatch when the Rockets switched to negate Steph. But Aquaman saw the future and came from the weak side to thwart the Butler's plan.
Jimmy, rejected by Adams. 4 block shots.
Seeing the problem that Steve was giving them, Coach Kerr implemented the good old Hacka Adams.
And they're purposely
There's a
going to
quick
foul.
whistle.
No, Hacka Adams sending him to the free throw line.
And there's a whistle on the shot by Şengün. Another foul.
Boy, you talk about a chess match right here. You got to look at and play the percentages. Put Steven Adams on the free throw line here. Guy who struggles.
And the Rockets folded.
And there it is. Now you're taking off the best offensive rebounder, not only in the league, but especially in this series, off the floor here.
However, dancing behind Alpi, Steady Freddy was still on a heater.
Fred VanVleet, another triple, number 7.
This young Rockets team hasn't been here before, but guess what? Van Vliet has.
With Curry acting as a decoy, Dre slipped the pin down, and Jabari had to help off of Jimmy.
Draymond, touch pass to Butler. Tic-tac-toe.
Şengün's slower foot speed on the perimeter kept being exploited.
Buddy Hield, sidestep, three. Got it! Shoot your shot. Buddy Hield has never been afraid.
With Brooks picking him up over half court in crunch time, playoff Jimmy got activated.
Jimmy Butler to the rim. Jimmy's got 22. Playoff Jimmy, even with a pelvic contusion, he's here.
But with the Dubs putting 2 on the ball on the Freddie inverted pick and roll, Van Vliet refused to let Houston fold quietly.
VanVleet for 3. It's tied at 104. He's got 8 of them now.
Even though he was now literally limping out there, he refused to let his team lose.
Shot clock at 5. Steph behind his back. Butler's got to launch a 3. He's fouled. Oh my goodness. Dylan Brooks. Butler holding his lower back.
However, with 5 fouls and the game on the line, Uncle Dre's clamps on Şengün were the final nail in the coffin.
Şengün on Draymond. Şengün wheeling in the lane with the right hand, puts it up and out. Rebound, Jimmy Butler! Butler rebounds it and he's fouled! Look at Draymond Green.
And Draymond Green wanted all the smoke versus Şengün. There's a reason why he's a former Defensive Player of the Year.
With these clutch heroics, the Dubs escaped with a tightly contested 109-106 win, taking a commanding 3-1 series lead.